Welcome back to the Perfectly Balanced podcast, where we dive into personal growth, mindset shifts, and finding balance in all aspects of your life. I'm your host, Destiny, and today we're going to talk about one of the most important relationships in your life, and that's the one that you have with yourself. We often hear about self-love all the time, but what does self-love actually mean? Is it just bubble baths and affirmations? Is it just making sure your haircut is done, making sure your hair is done, your nails done? Is it just about outer appearances, or is it something much deeper? In this episode, we're going to break down what self-love looks like for real, why it's so hard for many of us to embrace it, including myself, and how you can start showing up for yourself in a way that feels real and meaningful. So today, I want you to grab your favorite drink or your favorite snack and get comfortable, and let's talk about you today. When you hear self-love, what comes to mind? For a lot of people, it's things like treating yourself, taking time off, or doing things that make you happy. And while all those things are great, true self-love runs so much deeper. Self-love is more about how you talk to yourself when nobody else is around, the way you set boundaries and protect your energy. It's about choosing growth over comfort, even when you know it's hard, and showing yourself grace even on the bad days. A lot of us grew up in environments where self-love wasn't talked about enough, or worse, we were taught that putting ourselves first was very selfish, and honestly, that's not the case. But here is the truth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And what I mean by this is, you know how you pour a glass of water, right? And most of the time, we are filling that glass of water up to the tippity top so we can drink the full glass of water. Imagine that's you. Imagine you have been putting so much energy and love and everything in between out to other people. And when you fill that glass up to the tippity top and afterwards, you done gave everything out that you could, what's left for you? I need everyone to think about that who's listening. Once you give everything you have, every bit, every ounce of love that you have inside yourself, you have nothing left for you. And that is a major issue, because at the end of the day, you are most important. You are the person that needs to have the best relationship with you. Because again, like I said before, your relationship with yourself starts every other relationship in your life. So, with that being said, loving yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. So when people see you doing things for you, and if you hear them make sly remarks, or if they start treating you a certain way because you're protecting your energy or protecting your boundaries, understand that you have to look past that. People are going to talk, people are going to feel some type of way, but at the end of the day, it's how you feel about you and what you're going to do moving forward for you. I want you to take a second and I want you to ask yourself, what's one way you've shown up or shown yourself love this week? And I want you to send me a DM and let me know, because I want to celebrate your wins with you. And more than likely, I'll post it to my story if you say that's okay. And now, we're going to talk about the hard truth about self-love. And this is something that a lot of people don't want to admit to, but you got to admit to it for real. So one thing people don't tell you, self-love is not easy, and it also doesn't feel good all the time. Self-love is actually telling yourself, I deserve better. And then after you tell yourself you deserve better, you walk away from what's hurting you. You also have to tell yourself you're worthy, even when you don't fully believe it yourself. You also have to tell yourself, I'm going to rest today, even when your mind is screaming that you haven't done enough. And for me, I am one of those people that has to say, I have to rest today. My mind is going a million miles per hour, and I don't know if anybody else can attest to this as well, but Oftentimes, I feel like I'm not doing enough, and that leads to burnout, and that's not self-love. And I don't know if anybody else has gone through that, but that's just me. And I feel like oftentimes people really don't understand that I personally feel like I do not do enough. And once I feel like that, I will go a million miles per hour to figure out the next thing to do or figure out something to get my mind going. And that's not good. That leads to burnout, and burnout is not self-love. Sorry, y'all, I got emotional for a second. I got really emotional for a second because all of that stuff that I just said, I need to start believing it too. Like, I feel like I settle for less. And it's not anything around me per se, but it's more so me settling for less within myself and knowing that I can do better for myself and knowing that I can do more for myself instead of doing more for outside entities, if that makes sense. Now, some days, self-love does mean doing hard things. It means having tough conversations. It means saying no. It means standing up for yourself when you feel like, you know, you nobody else is going to stand up for you. You have to stand up for yourself. You also have to speak up for yourself, even when you feel like your voice is going to be a little shaky when you stand up or speak up for yourself. Self-love is not just about feeling good, y'all. It's about being good to yourself. You cannot be good to other people if you are not good to yourself. One of my biggest challenges, and I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be real, is self-talk. One thing that I struggle with is talking good to myself, because certain times I really don't feel like I should. And at the end of the day, you need to be talking good to yourself just like you talk good to anybody else or talk good about anybody else. And if you struggle with that, we can work on that together, because that's one of my biggest challenges and one of my biggest struggles. And it's just crazy because you really have to have, and I know I done said this about 5 times, but you really have to have a good relationship with yourself. You cannot get into relationships with other people if you do not know how to treat yourself, if you do not know how to love yourself. Now, I do want you to think about a time you were really hard on yourself. And what did you say to yourself? And when you think about this time that you were really hard on yourself and thinking about the things that you were thinking about and how you were feeling and etc., I want you to think about your best friend. And I want you to think about if you would talk to your best friend or think about the things that you thought about yourself about your best friend. That's not good. If you wouldn't do it to your best friend, don't do it to yourself, because at the end of the day, you are your best friend. You came into this world by yourself. You are going to leave this world by yourself. And if you can't show up for yourself and love yourself and take care of yourself, you can't do it for nobody else. You just can't. Now, I want to talk about how we can start practicing self-love together. And I know everybody is heavy on social media, right? Heavy on what other people say and what other people do. But we're going to switch it up a bit. First things first, you have to speak kindly to yourself. If you catch yourself saying something negative about you, quickly reframe it. For example, I'm not pretty enough. What? Are you out of your mind? You are the most beautiful person in the world. Same thing goes for dudes. Man, I'm not handsome enough. I didn't get a haircut, so I don't feel like myself. Dude, you're the most handsome person in the world. The outside appearance may make you feel good for a second, but if you haven't been talking to yourself kindly all this time before beforehand, it's not going to change now. Also, in life, because everyone is listening and we're all adults, oftentimes we think that we're failing. We think that we have failed at so many things. And honestly, we're not failing, we're learning. And that's a good way to reframe your mindset and reframe how you talk to yourself. Instead of you saying, I'm failing at everything, I'm not doing the best I can, say you're learning. Life is about learning. Life is about not only enjoying things, but I just feel like, me personally, life is life, and we're going to have to learn lessons all throughout life. So instead of saying you're failing, say I'm learning. Next thing you can do to show yourself love today is set boundaries. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Sometimes people will pull from you so much that you have nothing left for yourself. You have to protect yourself. You have to protect your time. You have to protect your energy. And you have to protect your peace. And I'm not saying that people do it on purpose, but sometimes, and believe me, sometimes, it might be most of the time for you, sometimes people do take everything you got and you are left with nothing for yourself because you have been people pleasing all this time and you have nothing left to give yourself. So, with that being said, from here on out, with certain things, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say not today. It's okay to rest. That's a part of setting boundaries. It's okay to go off and be by yourself. That's a part of setting boundaries. The next thing you can do to show yourself love is do things that make you feel good, not just the things that make you look good. Me personally, I'm one of those people who feel like doing things that make me look good makes me feel good too. And let me tell y'all, I tried that this week and I bursted out into tears. Like, girl, what are you doing? No. I need to start doing stuff that makes me feel good on the inside. And that's a part of self-love too. Self-care is not just about the outside. It's about what nourishes your soul and how you feel on the inside. So the question for that is, what lights you up? What makes you feel at peace? And those two things, once you answer those two things, do more of that. No ifs, no ands, no buts, no excuses. Do more of that. And after that, I feel like this one is big. You need to start celebrating your progress. In a world where we have social media, I don't see enough people celebrating their progress. And because we are all on social media, and because we are always looking at the next person, we don't celebrate ourselves enough. We are always raising the bar every single chance we get. For example, for business owners, you get that one order, you're like, that's cool, I need 10 more. No. Celebrate that progress. Celebrate something good you did for yourself. You have to start celebrating yourself because nobody else is going to celebrate you but you. Not only that, you got to show people how you want to be celebrated. Nobody can read your mind. So if you don't know how you want to be celebrated, then you can't tell nobody else how you want to be celebrated. So start with you. Start celebrating your progress. If you are working out and you only did one workout this week, celebrate that. Celebrate that. If you did something hard on your job that you never thought you could do, celebrate that. If you started a business, celebrate that. If you are starting something that you never thought you would start, celebrate that. Celebrate everything because we are here for a good time, not a long time. With all of that being said, stop waiting until you reach the perfect version of yourself. Make sure you love yourself through all of the stages and all of the phases of yourself because that's what's most important. Understand that every step forward, no matter how small, deserves to be celebrated. Now, which of these self-love practices do you want to focus on this week? Let me know in the comments or message me. I would definitely love to hear. Now that you done heard me ramble on and talk about what self-love is, how it is, what it is, etc., right? It's your turn. I want you to take one self-love tip from today and I want you to try it out. I want you to also share this episode with someone who truly needs it, because I know for a fact people need it. And also, don't forget to message me or even comment what self-love means to you. Now, next week, we'll be diving into the art of saying no, why it's so hard, and how it can transform your life. You definitely won't want to miss it. Lastly, and before I leave, here we go. Self-love isn't a destination. It's a lifelong journey. Some days it's easy, other days it's messy, but through it all, you are worthy of love, kindness, and grace, especially from yourself. If this episode resonated with you, I want you to share it with someone who needs this reminder today. And if you want to keep this conversation going, you can come connect with me on Instagram or Facebook. Y'all know where I be at. I really appreciate everyone who tuned in, and understand that I see you and I understand you. And I'm so grateful that you decided to tune in for episode 2, talking all about self-love. Until next time, I want you to keep choosing yourself and understand that you are loved, but you have to show yourself how much you are loved.